What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus G15 Advantage gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we are going to have a look at Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw Demo again, but at this time at 1440p. So I'll probably do what I did last time and just run the game pretty much maxed out. Well, within reason. I couldn't max the game out with max settings. I had to stop at high because if I went up to max, I went over the 12 gigs of VRAM I have, at least according to the little thing in the game, and we don't want to do that. We know when that happens, you lose performance. That and the frame rate probably would have suffered too. So I'm just gonna stick with the highest, just high settings, and then if it can do that, then we'll move right into just ray tracing and FSR, but if it can't, we'll go through all the settings just for fun, like we did on the Steam Deck. And then of course try to get my settings at the end, and then hopefully this time we'll be able to get a little camera recorded gameplay too. But last time trying to point it at the screen did not work. It was just blurry mess and couldn't really see anything. So I was just like halfway through the recording, I was just like, you know what, fuck this is terrible. I'm not putting this in my video. It's fucking pointless. That makes the video look horrible. So it's better just not have the camera part at all than say, well, I just had to have it. It looks like shit, but I had to put it in. No, you didn't. It looked like crap. So I think I made the right decision. So hopefully that'll work this time. If not, we just won't do it. No big deal. This might just be too dark of a game to do that with. It is what it is. It is a horror game after all. But anyway, let's not waste any more time. We'll go get this guy hooked up to the capture computer and then see what's what. Well now, let's do some 1440p now on the Asus G15 Advantage. So we'll start off just like we did. We'll just see if it can handle it maxed out. And if it can't, then we'll just go through all the different settings, including FSR and ray tracing, of course. All right, that's the bottom, so let's go hop on into the game and see how it does, shall we? Well, all right, here we are at the beginning of the game, and we're already dropping under 60 by a teensy tiny bit here. Not the end of the world, but that means we will be turning the settings down a little bit, just to see if we can get over 60 FPS. Might just be a pipe dream, at least without FSR, but we're still gonna try and do our due diligence. But for now, let's go around our little benchmark that we've been basically doing. Steam Deck was the only one I kind of just pressed forward through because that thing was just, it was a clusterfuck. Hopefully they fix that for that game because it'd be fun to play a game like this on the Steam Deck. Obviously not maxed out, but I still think it can handle more than what I was doing.
How far could
it's not that weak. Why don't we take a hit? Haven't had one of those in quite a few hours. Hell yeah, that's some pretty good GMO. Or garlic cookies, whatever you want to call it. That's got like 3 or 4 fucking names. Probably gets confusing. Hell, half of weeds are like that. Huh. It's 77.7 here. Hell yeah, lucky 7s. Alright though, this is pretty much our little stopping point. So, why don't we now go ahead and lower it down to medium? Well, alright, let's drop it down to medium now. Or at least my version of medium. Didn't turn everything off because just because you're on medium doesn't mean you want everything off, you know? And some things didn't have a medium, so I just left them on high. It was either high or low kind of deal. Or off and on kind of deal. But we've reached the bottom, so now let's get back into the game. Alright guys, here we go with a little medium gameplay. Decided to stop and have a little dinner. So now I'm all energized and ready to do some more voiceovers. Seems like we're still dropping a little teensy bit under 60 here and there. Even on medium. So this might need a little FSR to do 1440p. That won't really be 1440p anymore at that point, but hey, I would rather not have native resolution and get playable FPS rather than, you know, just being like stubborn, I guess, and being like, no FSR. FSR 2 quality doesn't even really look that bad. I can usually notice a hair if I sit there and pay more attention to trying to find faults rather than playing the damn game. And then, like, at that point, what the hell are you doing? Enjoy the fucking game. That's where I'm at. Though it is kind of hard to enjoy the game when it's a stuttery mess. That's pretty much my biggest complaint with all these new age games. Like, Hogwarts stutters like crazy, and it even does the shader compilation at the beginning. So that's not even the whole story. Imagine if it didn't, though. Holy crap, that game would be absolutely terrible. And then Returnal stuttered with the ray tracing on. It wasn't bad with it off, but still unacceptable. Still, that was probably one of the better ports. I've had a lot of fun with that. Just turn the ray tracing off, had fun with that game, beat it. But Wolong was really stuttery, crashed all the time. Still beat it after many, many tries. Anyway, let's move on to the next setting now, shall we? Well, now, let's try some low. So I pretty much put everything on low and turned everything off, pretty much. So, see if that will get us over 60. Probably not, but we will see. And keep in mind, guys, this is just a demo. I'll definitely buy the game and give it a shot, because I like these games. I'm not the best at them, but I still like them. And I have, I think, pretty much all of them in my collection on Steam at this point. I think I'm just missing some of the new remakes that just came out. Anyway, to the game. Well, here we go with some low now. And it seems like at least on low, we seem to be up in the high 70s and 80s. Even 90s every once in a while, so that's not bad. Still, though, frame times are great in this game. Even when we weren't getting 60 FPS all the time. This game's not a stuttery mess. And this is just a demo, so as long as they don't completely just fuck up somehow, the release should be even better than this, you would think.
How far could he have gone?
Honestly, the game doesn't even look that bad on low. I'm pretty impressed. Obviously, it doesn't look like the best game in the world on low, but if you're only concerned with FPS and you don't want to use FSR, this might be your best bet so far. If you want to stay over 60, that is. A lot of people don't even give a shit about 60. They're happy as long as it stays over 30, and some people just like straight up like 30. They don't even like playing in 60 FPS. Because those are not the kind of people that are usually into competitive gameplay. Otherwise, I'd sit there and ask him, like, wait, you're okay with 30 FPS even in, like, Fortnite and stuff? Or Call of Duty, since they're the two most popular games, it seems, for first-person shooters. Well, no, I think Apex Legends is, like, one of the most popular now. And then Global Offensive is always high on the Steam list of first-person shooters as well. There's a lot of good ones out there, really. But still, those are the ones that I think need more FPS than 30. That's just me, of course. Anyway. Let's move on now. Alright, now we're going to try ray tracing. So we're going to just start it out on high. I'm not even going to bother with the normal crap. We're just going to go right up to high. And besides that, let's just leave the game completely maxed out. Fuck it. We weren't able to get 60 before, but I'm curious to see what it gets with ray tracing on. And then, after that, then we'll hop into some FSR. And we'll probably leave ray tracing on too, just to see if we can make the game playable with it or not. I think we will. Just need a little FSR and everything will be all good. But anyway, to the game. Well, now here's the game with some ray tracing. We were already down to 51 there, but I was expecting it to be quite a bit lower with ray tracing enabled. But hey, it's still not like 30 or under 30 and being a stuttery mess with it on, so I'd say that's a huge improvement. I don't exactly know what is ray traced in this game. It might just be like shadows or reflections or one single solitary thing. Usually when that's the case, this thing can usually do it. It's just not usually at 60 FPS. But I think with FSR's help, we can probably stay above 60. I don't usually like using it, but in a game like this, we weren't really able to hit 60 at my reasonable settings anyway. I like to, you know, have good-looking graphics. I don't really want to play a game like this on low if I can help it. I'd rather turn a little FSR on and max the game out, leave ray tracing on and everything. And then just enjoy myself, just play the damn game, turn the frame rate counter off and go. I only ever have this thing on when I'm making videos for you guys, and then on the Steam Deck I have it on just so I can see how much battery is left. Without having to hit like the little buttons on the Steam Deck to like bring up the little sub menu. I know I could always just click on that and see my time and all of that, but I don't like doing that if I don't have to. Alright, well we've made it to our little house area here. Which means it's time for a hit, damn it. Just got done with dinner a little bit, but I didn't take my after dinner hit, so I shall now. Oh yeah. Sucks though, probably only one more good hit and then I'll have to pack a new bowl. But I'll of course do that after we're done doing the voiceovers. I'm not going to pack a bowl in the middle of that. That would be not fun. Because then I'm not paying attention to what's going on the screen. Anyway though, moving on. Now we shall do some FSR. So we're going to leave ray tracing on and just leave the game basically on high. Not maxed out, but on high. Because we could go up to... And we also dropped the texture quality from 8 gigs down to 6, too, for 1440p. It was taking up a little too much VRAM. Anyway, that's the bottom. So, into the game we go. Well, now, here we go, with the game pretty much on high, ray tracing on, and FSR on quality. And it really doesn't look bad at all. Totally playable. We dropped a little under 60 there just for a split second. But seems to be, for the most part, staying above 60. I saw another 59 for a quick second there, but again, this is me sitting here paying more attention to the damn frame rate counter than I am to playing the game. We're getting such smooth frame times. If I just turn that shit off, I probably wouldn't even honestly notice that we're not getting 60. I only notice that when we start getting lower, like under 55, like probably 54 to and up. Anything lower than 54, I'll start going like, oh man, that seems a smidgen slow, but I don't go, oh my god, unplayable, uninstall. Some people can be really FPS snobby and be like, no, if the game can't even get that, then the laptop is shit. But not me. So if I do like my settings and like normal ray tracing, we'll probably stay above 60. If we just use a little FSR. We would probably leave everything else pretty much on high too. Might as well. It was doing a pretty good job. Like I said, a couple times you dropped under 60, but not very often. And that's pretty cool in my book. Alright though, let's move along. Alright, now for FSR Balanced. So we'll just go through the settings. We're leaving them exactly as they were for quality FSR. We wouldn't want to change them in a validated test, but I like showing you guys the settings just so you know there's no funny business going on. And as I've said a bunch of times, it really helps when you get the video uploaded to YouTube and try to make your chapters. Some people don't even do chapters, but I figured, hell, if I'm not a big YouTuber, I might as well do every little thing I can to try to make everything as good as I can. And that's one. So, to the game. Now we got FSR on Balanced, so let's go back and check out this police car just for fun. We get to see like lighting and everything. It's a diesel. At least it sounds like one. I guess I don't know for 100% fact it is one, but sounds like a diesel.
How far could he have gone?
He might have gone to the moon, man. We've got a long way to go if that's the case. Still doing pretty good on the FPS, though. You know, we got our weird sacrificial deer there. Alright, we'll walk on over here and then get back to the center. And I think after that, we'll go ahead and move on to the next FSR setting. Alright, now it's time for FSR Performance. So, again, let's just go through our settings here just real fast. This game has a lot of settings. I like this. I like when there's lots of options. And especially when there's a thing that shows me what every option does, how much memory I'm using up, even if it's not 100% accurate. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's the bottom. So, let's get back on into the game. Alright. Performance FSR now. And it doesn't look absolutely horrible since we started out at 1440p. But obviously I can tell a little something's going on now. I don't know if you guys can, but I definitely notice it looking a little softer now. A little bit more jaggies, but whatever. What do you expect? It's performance. It's trying to get us more FPS, though I don't feel like it really is. I feel like all the different settings are just like at 1080p are kind of about the same. It might just be because it's a demo and it might be broken right now. I don't know, but just calling it as I see it. They all seem extremely similar. They might all be like an FPS or two apart from one another. Still, at least the initial FSR going just to quality helped a lot, so that at least got us from dropping under 60 most of the time to once or twice going down to 59 or something instead of dropping all the way down to 54. So I'll take that. I'd never notice it dropping down to 59. Not without a frame rate counter. No way. Some people might be able to, but not me. Alright, let's walk on over here. And now, why don't we go ahead and do the last FSR before we jump into my settings. So last up on FSR is Ultra Performance. So we're going to look through these settings one more time here for the FSR. We'll do it once more for my settings too, but let's just see what we got. Now this is probably not going to look good at all no matter what. I've never really seen this actually look presentable. Even when I do like 4K and stuff. It didn't look great. But maybe I'll be surprised with this game. Why don't we go find out right now? Alright guys, here we go with FSR Ultra Performance. And this has got to be like 720p. This honestly looks about like the same graphical level that the Steam Deck was running at these same kind of graphics settings. Only it didn't have ray tracing. I don't think that was even an option. It was grayed out the whole time, I think. Either that or I just fucking completely missed it. Or it was on the whole time and that's why we're getting shit FPS. But usually ray tracing doesn't seem to work on the Steam Deck. Unless there's some update I don't know about where they enabled it. It just seems like such a low power machine. I don't feel like it would even be like worth turning ray tracing on and stuff. It struggles just to play things at all as it is most of the time. You turn ray tracing on and it's going to be a bad time. I mean, maybe it could handle older games that have ray tracing, I guess, if all you want is 30 FPS. That's a possibility. So I guess I can't just lay out and say, oh yeah, it'd be completely terrible no matter what. There might be sometimes where it's not. It's not like I've tested every game known to man, so it's not like I can make that kind of claim either. Alright, let's just walk up to our little house up here. I've said it before, I've said it again. These frame times are really good, though. We have once in a blue moon, we'll have like a little stutter like that. Just a small little one when you walk into a new area. But I can deal with that compared to Hogwarts and a bunch of these other like stuttery games. Dead Space, what was it? That Castillo Protocol. Trying to think of some other ones. The Witcher with ray tracing and stuff, and even without it, they turn that into a stuttery mess with the update. Like, almost every freaking game stutters. So it's nice to see games like this and that Like a Dragon not do it, so that's pretty cool. Well, now, let's go move on to my settings, shall we? Alright, guys, let's check out my settings now. We're going to leave ray tracing on, so if you want to get a couple more FPS, just turn that off. And we're going to run FSR on quality. And then everything else, we got high. We got some stuff on mid. I usually turn shadow down a little bit. That's a good way to usually get some extra FPS. Same thing with volumetric lighting and stuff like that. I turn that down to mid. I left hair on normal instead of high. So we tried to save FPS a little bit here and there where we could. Not just completely relying on FSR. Well, alright guys. Let's get a little gameplay in with my settings before we get to the camera recorded part. Hopefully it'll actually work this time. It was not a success on 1080p, so I didn't even bother with it. It was just like too dark. The screen was too dark on that thing, and it was too close to the window, so it's snowy outside, so it's extra bright out there even with the blinds down. And then, even when it did see me, half the time when it couldn't, it would just be a blurry mess. So, like, I remember calling it right in the middle of the thing. I was like, nope, this is done. This is stupid. I'm not putting this in my video. But this time, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was possible to actually see on the monitor. So, we're not sitting square right next to a frickin' window then. It's kind of right in between two windows. So, we'll get a little camera recorded gameplay in this, and also should have no problem with the ultra-wide monitor and no problem with the other room either. My main computer is in the darkest room of the house. It's always dark in here. Mainly because we got so many trees right behind it, blocking it. Because the sun hits that side of the house the most out of anything. So thank you, trees. You make it easier to make videos, and it's easier to see my OLED. That's the one problem with this OLED. It's not the brightest OLED in the entire universe. But that's okay. I'm in a dark room, so it doesn't matter to me. And even in my new place, even though there's going to be more windows, I can make it dark as hell if I just put all the blinds down. They're really good blinds. But since I'm putting it in front of the windows, it shouldn't be a problem. I'll have to wait and see. I don't mind putting blinds down if I want a game, though. That's not the biggest deal in the world. Probably have to put them down to make my videos anyway. Anyway, why don't we now go ahead and move on to some camera. Guys, let's try to get some camera recorded gameplay here. This seems to be going a lot better than on the laptop screen. I can at least see what's going on my camera. It's dark, don't get me wrong, but I can at least see. And so far, so good on the going out of focus super bad. It was doing that as well, so I just saw that and was like, nope, that's not going in my video. I know it does that every once in a while during like cutscenes and stuff, and just in general, but it was doing it all the fucking time. Like, by here, it had already done it like 2 or 3 times. So I was like, nope. That makes my gameplay look like shit, so we will not be doing that. I know it's probably still a little hard to see, but at least you got the frame rate counter up on the top, so you can see what kind of frames I'm getting, and that is the most main part of this. Same settings we had during the camera or screen recorded portion as well. I didn't change anything. I wouldn't do that to you guys. These are still my settings. And with them, I was just basically trying to stay over 60 most of the time. Now, I understand every once in a while it still might go under. See, we just dropped down all the way down to 65 there. And like 61 here, so if we drop down to 61, it might drop down to 58, 59 here and there, but this is not a super twitchy first-person shooter, so I don't really care. I don't need 300 FPS, you know. And at least the frame times in this game are pretty good. During 1080p, I had one time where it dropped down to like 0 FPS for a second there. I was like, am I crashing? Like, what's going on here, guys? But then after that, we were good. We didn't have an issue after that. Alright, we already pretty much completed our little benchmark that I made for the game here, just walking around, but I like getting a little bit more time on these screen or camera record portions, so let's go on in here. At least I can kind of see. I couldn't see nothing here on the Steam Deck. I couldn't see shit on anything until I got to this screen. My laptop screen, I couldn't really see where I was going either. Both of those have the problem of being a little dim when I have all these lights on. It's not really that they're too dim in general, it's just when I've got all this shit on. There's that thing again. Now, did I miss anything in here the other times? Because I couldn't see? Probably not, but it's good to look around. It's just a demo, but I like being thorough. Alright, there's nothing really left in this fucking room. So we might as well continue on our way down the way. The convenience stores of Speedway. Anyway. Yep, their marketing works. I have lots of jingles stuck in my head from time to time. Still don't buy any of it, though. So I guess, does it really work? I remember it, but it doesn't work on me and make me want Speedway gas. Alright. If I remember correctly, this is the part where that guy tries to fucking cut my head off with a fucking axe.
Sorry to barge in like this. Busco a policía. Vino aquí?
Ah. Not today. No, no, no. How about a roundhouse kick to the fucking neck? How about that? And now, look at that. You dead. Oh, sounds like there's more shit going on in the house. Better get this key. And continue on our way here. Just go around and look, make sure I didn't miss anything. Now that I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, now let's go back. Oh, that's just that thing again. Let's go back and go to that fucking place that was locked. There we go, I was gonna say, can't see a fucking thing. I would like a flashlight, please.
Hey.
Oh, this must be that dead CAA guy or something.
I read you. What's your situation?
Sounds like their situation is being killed or eaten. Something of that line.
What was that? No fucking way.
Fuck you, get stabbed. die. Now I only have one bullet left. All right.
Bruce, this is Condor 1.
Hunnigan here. What's your sit rep?
President's daughter, Baby Eagle. It's likely she's in this village.
Our intel was correct then. Well done.
Well, all right, though. I would say this
Copy
is
that.
probably a great
I'll see
time
what
to
I can
wrap
find.
this video up. So why don't we go and do just that? Well, all right, guys. As a wrap for Resident Evil Chainsaw Demo, Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw Demo to be specific, and it was a little tougher to stay above 60 FPS this time. We had to use a little FSR. And since I was already using FSR, figured might as well keep ray tracing on. But that's another thing you can turn off and probably get like 8 to 10 FPS if you do not like it. But it seemed to help a little bit in this game, and I'm not used to this laptop letting me play around with ray tracing. Usually ray tracing gets turned on, bam, you've got under 30 FPS, almost guaranteed, especially at 1440p. But not this time. Without FSR, we did drop down into the 50s or something with it on, like 49 even. But a lot of people wouldn't even care about that in a game like this. And if you wanted to, you could do what the Steam Deck does, and not as easily, but go into Afterburner, well not Afterburner, but the Riva Statistics Tuner, the thing that actually runs the cool little GUI up on the side of my videos, and you could just tell that to limit your FPS to 40 FPS, and bam, there you go. Then you could have a very smooth experience. A lot of people would be more than happy with that, and then you could just have the game basically maxed out. So still, very good running game considering this is just a demo. Hopefully they'll get the Steam Deck working good enough. I'm not expecting to play the game maxed out on the Steam Deck, but it'd be cool to play it with like low medium settings without having to have performance FSR on, dropping it down to like 240p, you know? But we'll see what they do. But for now, at least the Asus G15 Advantage seems to be able to play this game no problem, as far as the demo is concerned anyway. Of course, when the game actually comes out, I will more than likely buy it. I may not be good at the Resident Evil games, but I still like playing them, just like with Elden Ring and all those. I'm not good at any of those either, but I still had a blast with them. Just took me a really long time to beat them. But anyway, that is all I got for you guys for this particular video. I hope you enjoyed it, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.